For decades, time travel has been relegated to the realm of science fiction. But now physicists say it might not be as far-fetched as you think. Traveling through time is actually theoretically possible, though some versions of this may come with a few catches. Like what? You can't take your dog. Or, traveling to the past may require the death of an entire universe. So buckle up, space cadets, because we're about to take a wild ride through the fourth dimension. First, let's break down what scientists mean when they talk about time travel. Essentially, there are two ways we can go about doing it: traveling into the future or going back in time. And yes, all of us are technically traveling into the future all the time at a constant rate of 1 second per, second. As we get older, time passes, and we move further and further away from our past. In that sense, we are all time travelers. But if we want to get fancy and bend the rules of physics to explore more extreme forms of traveling through time, then we need to talk about the idea of time dilation. This concept was first put forward by Albert Einstein over a century ago, and we have lots of evidence to support it. In fact, satellites orbiting the Earth rely on it to function. So what does it mean exactly? Well, it means that time doesn't pass at the same rate for everyone. For example, if someone were to leave Earth and blast off into outer space at nearly the speed of light, time would pass much slower for them than for those of us left here on good old terra firma. This is due to the bizarre rules of the universe as laid out by Einstein's theory of special relativity. To keep the laws of physics the same for all observers, time has to be flexible. That means it can speed up or slow down depending on how fast you are moving relative to someone else. The faster you move, the slower time goes for you. Here on Earth, we do unusually have to worry about this effect too much because we tend to stay in the same place. Relative to each other, and the speed of light is pretty darn fast. So the difference in how fast time passes for us is negligible. But for people who are zooming around the galaxy in spaceships, this becomes a big deal. Say our intrepid traveler blasts off to a distant star system and spends several years cruising at near light speed when they finally turn their ship around and head home. Only a couple of years will have passed for them, but many decades will have passed on Earth. They may return home to find their family long dead and humanity having entered a whole new era. This form of traveling into the future is definitely possible. All it takes is a really powerful spaceship and some friends or loved ones willing to stay on Earth while you re-gone. Just make sure you don't run into any pesky paradoxes along the way. Traveling to the past, however, is a whole other can of worms. Wormholes are a fascinating astronomical phenomenon that has captured the imagination of scientists and science fiction fans alike. A wormhole is basically a shortcut through space-time that connects to distant points in the universe. Think of it like folding a piece of paper in half and poking a hole through the center. Suddenly, no matter where you are on that piece of paper, you can travel instantly to the other side simply by passing through the hole. Now, in the case of a wormhole, this hole is actually a tunnel through four-dimensional space-time. So passing through it takes you not only to another place, but also to another point in time. So when it comes to time travel, there are a few things to consider. First off, these cosmic creases in space-time are only theoretical. Although we haven't found any wormholes yet, scientists say they are mathematically possible according to Einstein's theories of relativity. Plus, wormholes could potentially be created artificially through some very advanced technology. Second, even if we do find or create a wormhole, we have to worry about its size. Wormholes can be incredibly small, ranging from just a few feet to a few kilometers in diameter. So if you want to take a time-traveling road trip, you're probably not going to fit. Not to mention, wormholes are notoriously unstable and dangerous. The immense gravity near a wormhole can easily tear apart even a spaceship the size of a mountain. Finally, even if you manage to survive the journey, there's no guarantee that the wormhole will take you to the past. In fact, most wormholes are believed to connect to a different time and place in the future. But hey, anything's possible, right? Maybe one day soon we'll be hopping through wormholes like they're the Macy's Day Parade. But for now, we'll just have to keep searching for them out there in the great beyond. Black holes are among the most mysterious and fascinating objects in the universe. These colossal blobs of collapsed matter are so dense that their gravity is intense enough to trap even light. And they come in a variety of sizes. Black holes can be anywhere from a few times the mass of our sun to millions or even billions of times greater. Black holes have an event horizon, which is the boundary around them beyond which nothing can escape. Once something crosses the event horizon, it can never come back. Not only does this apply to physical objects like stars and gas clouds, but also to light and other forms of electromagnetic radiation. That's why black holes are called black holes. No light can escape their clutches, so we can only observe them indirectly by studying the effects they have on their surroundings. But here's where things get really interesting. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, the passage of time near a black hole is drastically different from the passage of time on Earth. This means that if you were to venture close to a black hole, you would experience time slowing down significantly compared to someone who is far away. The closer you get to the event horizon, the slower time would pass. In fact, as you approach the event horizon, time would eventually stop completely. This happens because the gravity near a black hole is extremely strong and distorts space-time in such a way that time itself seems to stand still. It might sound crazy, but we've actually tested this effect, and it's been confirmed by numerous observations. Imagine you had a friend who decided to hang out near a black hole while you went about your regular life on Earth. After just a few hours for you, years would have passed for your friend near the black hole. If they were close enough to the event horizon, time would eventually stop altogether. Now, obviously, hanging out near a black hole isn't exactly easy to do. The intense gravity and radiation make it a pretty hostile environment. But if somehow you managed to survive, you could theoretically travel back in time relative to everyone else in the universe. You'd essentially be living in a bubble where time was frozen while the rest of the cosmos continued to spin forward. It might not be the kind of time travel that you see in the movies, but it's still pretty mind-bending nonetheless. Tip: no. 3. Get creative with your time travel. So if traveling near a black hole or through a wormhole isn't your cup of tea, you still have some options when it comes to bending time. Tip: no. 1 is to hop in your spaceship and head in the opposite direction. Light speed. Remember, time slows down for objects moving at high speeds. So the faster you go, the slower time passes for you relative to everyone else. So if you blasted off into space at 99% of the speed of light, time would effectively stop for you. You could travel to the farthest reaches of the universe in mere seconds without aging a single day. Just make sure you bring plenty of snacks, because turning around and coming home would take a heck of a long time, unless you find a way to boost your speed even further. And if that sounds impossible, tip: no. 2 is to use a cosmic trick known as gravitational time dilation. Remember how time slows down near a black hole? Well, you can take advantage of this effect by parking your spaceship next to one and turning on your own personal gravitational field generator. By creating a strong gravitational field around your ship, you can effectively slow down time for yourself without having to risk getting too close to the event horizon. Just make sure your generator is powerful enough, because the closer you get to a black hole, the stronger the gravitational field becomes. You will need to create a gravitational field thousands or even millions times stronger than Earth's gravity to experience significant time dilation. But hey, with enough energy, anything's possible. If you're feeling extra adventurous, tip: no. 3 is to forget about space and travel through time standing still. Yep, you heard that right. Standing still can be a legitimate way to travel through time, thanks to a quirk of physics known as the twin paradox. This happens because time passes differently for observers who are in different gravitational fields. So if you were to stand on a planet with a strong gravitational field, while your twin took a joyride on a spaceship far out in deep space, upon your return, you would find that you have aged significantly less than them. Basically, by hanging out on a planet with a lot of gravity, you can slow down time for yourself relative to someone who is in a weaker gravitational field. This effect has been tested and verified by NASA. It's actually one of the key factors that allows GPS satellites to function accurately. Of course, standing on a planet with tons of gravity isn't exactly a relaxing vacation. But hey, if you're desperate to travel back in time, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, whether or not humans will ever actually be able to travel through time remains to be seen. Some physicists say it's impossible, while others argue that it's just a matter of figuring out the right equations. But one thing is for sure, the universe is full of surprises, and we never know what we might discover next. So who knows? Maybe one day soon we'll be hopping in our time machines and taking a trip to the past, or maybe the future. It's all up to the cosmos. Till then, we all just have to keep dreaming about what is possible and exploring the mysteries of the universe that surround us. Thanks for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our cosmic community. We've got a whole universe of wonders to explore together.